Yo,
Yes, sir.
what's up? We here with Mr. Cash Time.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
nigga. Yeah.
politics as usual.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Firstly, obviously you about to drop this joint. You've just dropped this joint, and everybody says you don't say anything. I think that like, firstly, you need to just say what's on your. What made you go, yo? I'm gonna address it now.
Um, I mean, I think that has been my downfall. Yeah, I mean, like to a certain degree, like the fact that I've never been vocal about stuff, So I mean, people have found it rather comfortable to just come at me, like,
Hey, just wait. I just want to see if we're on. One. Oh yeah, we are.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, so people have found it somewhat comfortable just coming at me, whether it be by social media or niggas jumping on songs and taking swipes
Yeah.
at the God. You feel me?
Yeah.
And because like I've always showed this very humble side. I mean, let's all gather on, gather along. I mean, and get along. And the whole kumbaya, approach,
Yeah.
which has, I mean, in all honesty, in hip hop, doesn't really, really put you in a good place.
Yeah.
You understand me? I mean, we were talking right now about, off camera about, the likes of Dreezes and stuff. I mean, but like he's obviously doing things a different way, but it's important for one to be stern and to affirm their position, as a man.
Yeah.
To that, okay, cool, all right, that's enough, my dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you've crossed the line or whatever. I mean, whatever. No one has crossed the line, by the way, except
Yeah.
for obviously people talking funny out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is. I felt like putting out a record to address it because I'm never really that vocal
Yeah,
on songs. I just talk about just general topics and
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. But this time around, I just figured might as well just delve into it and break it down into pieces and let the people know what it is.
So basically, you saying that, I mean, obviously Nomoozlie left, there wasn't much about it or that was said, or rather you ain't said nothing about it. X like now happened last week Friday. Is the issue with the talent, or are you feeling that it's a response based on what people are saying?
Yeah, it's a response based on what people are saying,
Yeah.
and also to a point where uh, s- he makes. I mean, my homie makes the move, but he doesn't really elaborate.
Yeah.
The decision behind him, behind that, and
Are you saying in the public or
in
to
the public,
you guys? Okay.
in the
Cool.
public,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's all on good terms, my G. I mean, there's like, like that's my friend. You understand me?
Yeah.
So I would never, like, we would never have any personal issues. But I mean, as a man, got to a point where he just felt like he wanted to go and explore other avenues. You know what I mean? And he's got my blessings and everything. I mean, same goes for Nomoozlie. You feel me? It's just now when he opted, just, I mean, same thing I went through. I'm going through with Mugs as well. You have fans calling for their album, and like, yo, why aren't these guys putting out albums or at least singles or something? You feel me? And then here I am, because it's 2016, my dude. My album came out in 2014. There has to be new music. I need to, because I'm in the race myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I was saying, I even said on the record that being a player and a coach at the same time is not an easy job. So I have to get back into the field and do what I need to do to sustain myself,
Yeah.
for my own survival. So I can't sit on the bench and wait for everyone else to take their own sweet time to do things, because I also have my own following and I also have bills to pay. You feel me? So the fact that, I mean, maybe my rate might be slightly faster than theirs, it now looks like, oh, so you telling them homies to sit back and let you shine.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
You know, so the same way the fans have been calling and bugging the dudes for the albums, it's the same thing that's been going on over here, my dude. You know what I mean? Like we reached out, yo, can we do this? Can we get that record? No. I mean, I'm still working on it. Can we get the album? Yeah, no, I'm still out there putting in work, recording. It's the same situation that we found ourselves in internally, you know, and it's not a problem.
yeah.
All they had to do was just, you know, just put the message out there that yo, it's all good. You know, I'm still working. I'm putting in work on the album. You will get it when it's ready. That's all. Let me just get this quickly.
Cool, good.
Hello? 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 You can open? Cool. I'm actually building there at the crib.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, so that was that.
So I mean, with that, you know, I mean, it's I know it also. It's because I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
It's like a work ethic thing.
Yeah.
You know, the work ethic is not the same.
Of course.
You know, you got to think of yourself. You think of everybody.
Yeah.
But you can only think so much for everybody. But if everybody doesn't also have it in them to think of themselves also as a leader, it becomes a problem. And but you see, the fans never see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
we also at fault for not really communicating that or like drumming it in to you know the homies ears that yo, you're gonna have to get out there and tell the world that this is what is happening. You know, because we just felt like, I mean, see, the situation at the label, we are family and it's all brotherhood. You know, there is no okay, so you are the artist, we are the business, and this is what we're gonna do. And like, you know, we literally instruct or command people what to do. You know, this is a platform for enterprising, you know, young people who, if they feel they are driven enough, if their pace is 10 times more than mine, that's exactly what this was created for, you know, for people to go out there and shine. You know, I literally, I mean, we've had this conversation before. I was literally inspired by the Young Money, Cash Money model, you know, where obviously you have a Wayne and whatnot, but X to me was poised to be the Drake in the situation. By now he was supposed to be bigger than KO, and that was all. I mean, he was the sole person who was responsible to make that happen. You know, I mean, I know there's a lot of pressure at the same time, but you know, that's how I saw the whole thing. You know, I knew that okay, cool. In the next year or two, this kid is out of here. You know, he's gonna blow up. He's gonna be massive. You feel me? And you know, it was just all on him to run with it.
So I mean, now, you know, obviously he dropped the mixtape, you know, and he dropped some videos. You know, especially if you use the analogy of Drake, you know, Drake is like his own machine.
Yeah.
So my question, do you feel that, listen, I gave you everything, I put everything down, but you couldn't utilize it to make yourself a machine to continue growing, because there has to be something that goes, this was the barrier, you know what I mean? What was the barrier? The vision was there, the experience was there, the advice was there. Was the music not consistent? Was it, you know, you never know what these things are caused by, but you know, I noticed just off my personal experiences that when Questa was under us, it's almost like he couldn't be a movement under us.
Yeah.
Immediately when we got away, he started moving like a movement. It's almost like he started working for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what we'd given him sort of like the learnings of that.
Yeah.
So he could only do it for himself. So I don't know. I think that there's almost that thing where guys feel that they still have to report, or they still I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There were never any limitations. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you and sit here and say we gave everybody, the world for
Yeah.
them to do whatever. But I mean, we obviously provided the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanna
I just want to hear this as quickly. Hello? Okay, like, but don't put me like 10 minutes, please.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you and tell you that we gave the homies the world and whatnot, the birds and bees. But we made sure that the platform was ready for them to springboard off it, and we covered the basics. I mean, if homies wanted to go to the studio, we'd pay for the studio. I mean, if as long as you have material and you feel you're ready,
Yeah.
go. Because I mean, obviously we're budget constraints on their end, now and then. So would pay for studio. So that door was always open. Okay, as soon as you're ready to go, let us know, and then we'll pay for the shit. And then same thing goes with music videos. When you're ready, let us know which one you want to go with. Let's all discuss, and then we'll advise you which one you think we should go with. And then, but it's not the order of the day. You follow what you feel, and then we'll run with it, and we'll support you like we should. The budget for the videos is there, so, and then the model that Tabiso, hip hop scholar, came up with end of 2014, shortly after the album dropped, because obviously we knew, like, we had seen what was happening with Karakara and Boom Boom Boom, and the schedule was just getting more and more crazier, so the message that was sent out was, guys, please set up your own structures, your own teams, get your own managers, to to run your entire business, to manage the Kid X brand, to manage the Ma'i brand, and so forth. This was the word that was given out, and then homies, went and chose, maybe their friends and stuff, to come do their work. But I'll tell you one thing. I mean, Tabiso is my business partner, but we are not the best of friends, or like we're not homies. We don't really like even hang out like that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I brought homie in purely for his work ethic and what he has done in the game, and what he is. I mean, the world can testify to what he has done to my brand, and that's all I needed him for. And take care of him, and then he takes care of me, and that's it. So it didn't have to be who can I pick up, a homie of mine to come handle, because the homie industry can. I mean, it has its. I mean, its own effects. So
Facts only.
yeah.
Facts only.
So that's what we went and told the guys, like, yo, whatever you do, please pick someone who has the experience and the acumen to actually get your shit off the ground and take you to where you want to go. And then it was solely their choices to run with the people that they ran with, and there's no problem in that. Maybe someone new who's still wet behind the ears as far as the game was concerned. He's willing to learn. He's a fast learner. But unfortunately, it just didn't manifest in where we are right now. That they had that much of an impact in handling the business.
So I mean, I guess the pitfall is maybe the selection of who you called in to handle your stuff, because obviously the friend game doesn't work in the business game. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like, I mean, and I know so. It's like we started with Spoon.
Yeah.
It's actually even when that's what made me switch up from like having fun to, okay, I can't be having fun with, like, say, a Questa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't be having fun with the artist. You know, I always have my eyes and ears open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once you start making that type of movement, it gets to that point.
Yeah.
But you look at another thing. I mean, obviously that created a lot of conversation, and I also asked Tabiso about this. I mean, the strategy of Mai dropping his album and then I think
A
a
week
few
later.
days later,
A
you know
week
what I
later,
mean? Yeah, a week later, you dropped your single.
yeah.
You know, obviously, I think that really opened up. Like,
Yeah.
it really opened up from there. That
Yeah.
yo, this is the thing. But do you wanna just elaborate even the relationship with Mai and the rationale of it ending up that way with
Yeah.
regards to even the dates?
Um, if people remember correctly, there was only one message before my album came out. There was only one message being communicated to the public that yo, get this my album dropping on such and such a date, and that was the sole focus. When my single dropped, my single people only woke up to it the day it came out. There was no actual thing, leading up time to the actual release, and that was done on purpose so that the message. I mean, imagine if I had announced it 2 weeks before it came out, that would literally be trampling all over the MAE communication, So we strategically did it like that. And going back to the whole thing again, being player and a coach, it's March 2016. The last the last body of work I put out was in 2014. I'm talking about even the song from, KO. The entire 2015, I was literally just working my album, the singles off my album. That's what kept me afloat. And the same year, 2015, was the year where we had said, "I." So now that the KO situation is done, the album is out and whatnot. He's just gonna be working his singles this year. You guys, Mugs, my X, you guys have the platform now. We need you to go out there and shut the year down the same way that the homie did 2014 for the camp, and sadly, the pace in getting the albums together wasn't.
Which has nothing to do with you. Also.
Yeah. I mean, they working on their own projects. The albums didn't really come together quick enough. I'll tell you one thing. For X's mixtape to become what it became, what had happened was he recorded a demo version of the tape. I mean, I still have, that version with me. When he sent that to us, I mean, he recorded it himself at his crib and stuff, So when he sent it to us, we heard that, and we were like, hey, because the quality wasn't great, and the way it was done, the songs were not translating to what they actually ended up being when he went to PH and recorded professionally, So based on that, you're like, I don't know if you want to make this the album, because it sounds like you're still trying to find yourself. You find your own sound as an artist, before you go out there and embarking on an album. So work on the material, fine tune it first, and then as soon as you are ready, we will give it another spin and see what we can do to it. So the whole time, I mean, obviously, maybe he might have felt like we shutting down his idea, but it was us basing it on what we heard, the demo.
And also maybe filling your role of giving guidance, which is probably part of the
exactly.
reason why he's
Because I mean,
guys.
the biggest thing was I wouldn't sit there and allow for someone to go out there and get burnt, under my watch, where my role is to help them, like you're saying, guide them in whatever way, shape, or form. So when he decided, because I mean we share the same, birth date, so that week he decided, leading up to the birthday, he decides, yo, I think I'm gonna revisit those songs that I did, and just package them nicely and put them out for free. Like, okay, cool, bet you can do that, and then that's how all those songs turned into the mixtape, which is 3/4 pace, and I'm proud again that it ended up being a thing of like the project ended up being nominated Summers, which was some dope shit, but the main idea was for him to put out an actual album, and unfortunately last year it just didn't materialize as soon as at the rate that we had expected, and then there was another conversation seeing that the pace wasn't really that great amongst the team. We figured, how about we set up an all-star and put together an all-star project, the Cash Time All-Star project, where everyone on the Roadster, was chiming, was just like the Young Money album, pretty much. August, and so when we are working on this was shortly after Basop came out, because we just saw the synergy. We're like, okay, so this can work, if we embark on a full project. So beats, boom boom boom, send beats to everyone, let's start working. We recorded maybe 1 or 2 records, but the pace again wasn't that great. So
who's sending out the beats?
Nah, cause I oversee the production and shit.
So your side of it is being done basically.
Yeah, but I'm not entirely throwing everything on the artist, because I'm also supposed
you basically initiating though.
Yeah, I initiated that, and everyone was all for it. You feel me? Which was awesome. I was excited. So with the writing and my schedule and all that other shit, and then everyone else, in terms of assembling the project, the recording process was taking rather too long. Because the next thing we woke up and it's October, the project is not done. It's literally, you know how it goes out there. Having to mix and master and send the album out to iTunes. You need a couple weeks for it to be ingested into the system. But the next thing we were gonna find ourselves, the next situation we're gonna find ourselves in was gonna be December. Only the album is out or is available to the public. And by end of November already, the CD stores are not taking stock. So it's like I just felt like it was just gonna be a mess. So we decided, okay, let's just cut the whole situation. Let's go back to original plan. Let's work on your albums. And obviously that sort of kind of demotivated them. I'll tell you that much. But I made it a point that I was gonna sit on their necks to put out those albums, because people didn't know that we were working on a Cash Time album. They were just expecting these guys' albums. So we're like, okay, cool. No, there's not much damage done, because the people are still waiting for y'all to drop the project. So if they have to come out this year, if they come out top of 2016, that's still cool. And then my obviously finished his situation and the album came out. And then even with that, there was still backlash, like you said. So literally, because I had planned that I was gonna drop a new song March, but I obviously had to hold off until the album comes out, and then do what I need to do as well, getting back into the race, being a player myself on the team, and that's how that whole situation played out. And this entire time, all the way till now, X made the decision, I think shortly after the Durban July weekend, that he doesn't want to be a part of the team anymore. And it's just been there. We've always known it. Obviously people didn't know what was happening, and he only mentioned it last week in public, But this whole time before that, the call has always been the same. Yo, where's the album? Where's this thing? And yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's tough. And if it was all for good intention, it's also painful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm speaking because I've been in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's what people don't understand. And I mean, I always say this to X when I see him. I'm like, yo, you gotta do some stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta go out there because he is key. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's key.
Amazing.
And so like I get it when you say there was the team album, and obviously like in a few like around October, November, December, I think that's when Nomoozlie also left, and I feel that like
She left this year.
was it, yeah. So I do feel that like there's they obviously people grow and they also learn in some places. So you also got to know that sometimes you'll do people's bed,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you won't always be the one that sleeps in that bed.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
They'll sleep in the bed, whether there's a success, whether there's whatever. They'll be a part of that. But you're the foundation of it.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing you can do is wish them well. I think what a lot of people have been hard on you because they don't know how hard it is
Yeah.
to run this thing.
Yeah.
I see the comments.
Yeah.
Everybody's old. You are Mai's old. You got Kidix.
Yeah.
Everybody's old. You got to take care of your shit.
Yeah.
It's just that like the guy who makes it the big success goes, I've already created the foundation.
Yeah.
We can all bounce from this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if everyone else literally still, you can't. It's like I can't push you to go eat if you're hungry.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't know this about the industry. They obviously only see the good part when the artist is doing well.
Yeah. And there was also the talk that, the only reason why Mai has an album out is because he's KO's friend, and he's a partner in the business.
Yeah.
Which is a bunch of bullshit. Everyone was given the X album was actually. This is the call that we had made internally that X's album is supposed to come out before my E. And which is why even the mixtape came out before my E. You feel me? So for people to say funny things like that, it really hurts, because it just looks like we are running a dictatorship.
Yeah.
It makes no sense for me to bring in guys with, all the goodwill and the good intentions behind that decision, and just for me to bench them. So when you're seeing these guys walking away, it's not based on anything but maybe them feeling like the platform is not popping enough for them to build on it, so maybe they need to go and start a whole new situation, and which makes all the sense, so I can never feel a way about that, because where we are as a business in 2016 is not the same place where we were 2 years ago. With Karakara, we had a big song, and a big album. So that as well, the misconception that is creating, especially like with the release of Mai's album, people are quick to say, but he's not being given the same attention as a KO at Cash Time. And people don't understand one thing, my nigga. With like, this is fact. The office did more work, marketing wise and everything else, to try and set up the Mai album than they did mine. The reason for that is, this day and age, when you have a big song, you actually don't even have to flinch, my nigga. You know what I mean? The song does everything for you. That's what sells the album. So when there is no actual song, you can pay, thousands and thousands trying to make placements on either radio and putting a hold, because that's what we did. I'm not saying the radio spots and everything, but I'm saying buying, combining, putting together my tour, album tour, to get him out there and all that stuff, and we didn't even do that with my situation. I mean, we did like a mini club tour. We did like 3 shows, and nothing really came off that, so we canned it, and then with this one, we fully, just jumped in there, and then the office was working, was finessing that whole situation, and also other things that were put in place. But because of the fact that there's no big song, it just ends up looking like, yeah, now homie's not getting the same attention as KO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that speak also, they need to stop speaking and start like actually engaging with the music. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It's one thing to be but do you even have the album?
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? So and are you even checking for where he's at? You know what I mean? Because you've got the album. You even checking. You or you're just looking for the wrongs. So you also deal with people who just consciously just like focus on wrongs. I was telling someone, he was going, if you post stuff on Instagram, you motivate people, you inspire them if they know what you're doing. I said, if I tell people what I'm doing, then tomorrow I get into a situation of some wrong thing. And those same people who are motivated are the same people who are saying, yeah, celebrities are like this, da, 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 da. So I'm like, I ain't trying to play that game. I ain't trying to play that 1 minute you love me, next minute when I do wrong, you don't even want to go understand what went wrong. You just want to like layer me like every other else who's done wrong. So I don't play that. If you want to be inspired, come see me. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
You know?
Yeah.